All right. So you guys have the evening. If there's anything you want to do, supplies you want to get here in Triboar, if you up to you, your call.
Um, does Triboar it's a fairly large city, right? Or is it kind of a small hamlet?
We call it medium sized. It's right around 2,500 people. It sits right along the Long Road, where the Long Road meets the Evermore Way and heads east to Yartar. So it's think of it like you're sort of like a freeway town would be the equivalent, right?
Mhm.
It would be a lot smaller if it wasn't for the traffic on the road.
Is there any sort of like alchemy or like area where we could buy like a potion or anything like that?
Probably your best bet would be to head to the Lion's Share.
Okay, and that's like where a lot of the equipment for the caravan would be, anyways, I assume.
Yeah, it's the Lion Shield Costers, sort of where they distribute goods here in Triboar, and then they also send their caravans up and down the road from here.
Okay, that's where I'll head first then.
Same. Realizing that this is probably going to be at the mention of Gundren's, and Gundren mentioned that communication will be difficult, and realizing that this is probably going to be a long journey, uh, I'm going to stock up on papers and cases and maps and scrolls and ink and all the good things that I need to map out the valley and pin tails.
Hmm?
Along those lines, Torgrim will look for things that he can use to repair weapons and armor along the way as well, in case we're stuck with broken things away from civilization where we can easily repair or buy new ones.
Okay, sounds like pretty much everyone's headed to the Lion's Share, or at least Adolaman, Amir, Torgrim. Fitz and Logan, what are you guys up to?
Logan heads for a bath. He's been on the road. He's pretty muddy.
Sounds good. You can talk to Urgala up front of the North Shield House, and she can set you up.
Fitz follows slightly behind the main group to the general store as well.
Okay. So because you guys are working with the coster, you can generally negotiate for simple supplies that are under probably 5 gold in value. You can just grab within reason. You know what I mean? You can get a couple of items, and they'll be fine with that as long as they apply to the journey. For anything more expensive than 5, you can negotiate probably like a 50% discount with the shopkeeper at the Lion's Share. So Torgrim, it sounds like you were looking for a fresh set of like smith's tools.
Yeah, just making sure I have the things that I would need, the raw materials that I would need, since smith's tools I would think would work with my stuff. I might want some extra metal stock to work with in case I need to melt something down and fix a hole.
Yep. Yeah, that's totally doable, and we'll say that the coster is just willing to provide that. If you just want to add it to your sheet and give it a little bit of weight, you're good to go.
Okay.
And Adolaman, you were looking for like paper and ink and those kinds of things. The coster is absolutely willing to provide. And then Amir, I think you were looking for something more specific, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, if there is an alchemist, I'll try to find a flask or potion of healing. If not, I'll probably just check out their weaponry and try to find a sturdy looking two-handed sword.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, did we drop somebody?
Oh, yep. I think we lost
Buddy.
Scry, a Doleman. Yep, he must be having internet issues. So we'll set him up when he gets back. In terms of potion of healing, the Coster does not have any in stock.
Okay, that's fine. What about two-handed weapons, martial weapons?
Yep, let me look. Weapons they have in abundance. And you can probably negotiate like a 50% discount off the list price from the shopkeeper here.
You want me to do that like in game, or can we just like?
No, we can just say you do it. We don't need to role play out the buying of things unless anyone really wants to.
Cool. Yeah, I'll get a greatsword then. I'll part with 25 gold.
Cool. You can go ahead and just drag that onto your sheet, I think.
Oh, you know what? Just thought of it. I might want to get a crossbow too, since I don't have one of those, but I can use it.
The similar to Amir, you can totally acquire one of those from the Lion's Share, 50% discount off the list price.
Okay.
And ammunition they'll throw in for free. 20 bolts.
The very last thing I would do in terms of supplies is try to find like a painter or an artisan who could uh, paint the sigil of doom on my shield.
Hey, sorry about that.
Hey, no problem. We just buying things. You're good. Welcome back.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen again. My roommate's packing up, had to disconnect his power supply from the router.
Fun.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Actually, we'll say that the proprietor of the Lion's Share knows somebody in town that he can take your shield to. He'll just need to keep it overnight.
Cool.
And probably normally it would be cheaper, but probably he'll need we'll say 2 gold pieces for the rush job.
Cool.
You can pick it up in the morning. All right. Anything anyone else needs?
Fitz would like to stock up on some more crossbow bolts and arrows.
Go for it. So they'll give you 1 package of ammunition just for free on the house, and then any other ammo you want to buy, half price.
Okay.
How long was the journey supposed to be in terms of days?
So based on looking at the map, it's about 3 days, give or take, to Crystal Shores, and probably, it would be 10 days in total, thereabouts, between Triboar and the High Road. Given that you're going to have to wait in Crystal Shores for Gundren, it'll end up taking you longer than a week total, but only about 3 days to Crystal Shores.
Okay, I'll probably stock up on more rations, maybe 10 more, just to make sure if anything does happen, I can get to the village out there by the lake without too much trouble.
Sounds good.
Is there dynamite available?
No explosives.
No explosives.
Gold is worthless on your dead corpse.
That's right. Okay. So Logan has been luxuriating in the bath. Everyone else is stocked up. Anything else you want to do before the morning?
I feel like
Yeah, nothing here. I'm good.
I also wanted to grab, probably just in case, if they have it, another musical instrument and another disguise kit and another forgery kit if I can get my hands on those.
You totally can. Half price for anything on that list you want.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody is a healer kit would be smart too. Amir wouldn't know how to use it, so he won't get one.
I think I'm already carrying one.
And one thing you notice if you're at the lion's share getting supplies is that it's fairly busy out in the back. There's wagons being unloaded and stablemen running about. But you're the only ones actually in the shop. The locals of Triboar tend to give the shop a wide berth.
Interesting.
Is there anything about the building that like is frightening or like is it just like you notice the locals give it a wide berth, but there's no obvious reason for it?
Roll some. Anyone who cares, you can roll some history.
Look at you making the history stat relevant.
So I try, man.
Okay,
Could I
dropped out of the tower.
possibly roll perception and see if I notice anything around me that seems out of place? Or
You totally can. Cool. So, Amir, one thing that occurs to you is that the Lion Shield Coster is based out of Yartar to the east. And Yartar and Triboar compete for trade in this region, so generally they're not friends.
That makes sense. This is a land grab essentially. Okay.
Yartar and Triboar have fought little skirmishes over the years many times, although Yartar is about 4 times the size, so it generally doesn't go too well for Triboar.
Is the and they're both independent like kingdoms or cities, right? They're not owned by Waterdeep or any of that.
That's right. Although I think Yartar might be part of the Lord's Alliance, actually. Yes,
Yeah, I
Yartar
think-
is part of the Lord's Alliance. Triboar's not.
Is it-
It's independent.
And they're like a seafaring or like water, like river based economy, right? Like they have like a navy or something like that.
For the most part, they build barges mostly on the Desserin River.
Okay.
So they're a big trade city.
And last question about the Vale. Would Emir know of any claims that other dwarven clans have tried to settle on the Vale, since he has a particular interest there?
Yeah, so probably I wouldn't even require a roll necessarily for this for the dwarves in the groups. It's pretty common knowledge among the dwarf clans is there was some settlement in the Vale by dwarves a few hundred years ago, but the details are lost. Clan Deepstone, they were called.
Were they looking for anything in particular, or were they just stone miners or craftsmen?
Craftsmen, mostly. Known for their weaponsmithing.
Any rumors among the dwarven clans about the type of stone that's in the mountain range?
None. But they were known for crafting exquisite weapons.
Good to know. All right, then I'll head back to the tavern or the inn. Sorry, and I'll get another drink downstairs. So if anybody wants to join me, can do something there. But if nobody does, I'll just head up to my room, hit the sack, and wake up in the morning.
I actually see if the inn has any entertainment booked for the night, and see if they'd like to hire me out to see if I can make some extra silver or gold.
Aha. Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll in the tower. See if you can talk Urgala into paying you to entertain for the night.
Oh, I think Alton will perception for something too, but I just talked over him. So sorry about that.
Oh, that's right. Adolman, yes, you talk Urgala into it. Say 2 gold pieces for the evening's entertainment.
Okay. That seems fair.
She's happy to have you.
I know a couple songs about new beginnings and adventuring parties that are a couple of songs about adventuring parties that are kind of satirical and about stereotypically meeting in a tavern. And I'll perform those tonight before hitting bed.
Awesome.
Yeah, Mir will just sit and listen.
And Fitz, you didn't necessarily notice the you don't have necessarily the historical concept about Triboar and Yartar, but you definitely notice that people are sort of avoiding the building or casting it glances askance as they walk by. Nothing else of interest.
Okay.
But you can see everyone's nose hair. You're so perceptive.
Nice.
Hint, you rolled well. Torgrim, one thing I wanted to ask earlier, is Torgrim a shield dwarf, or is he a gold dwarf?
He's a gold dwarf, but he looks slightly different. He'll sit down with you while we listen to the music of our new companion. And if you're sitting near him, his skin looks a little strange. I guess if you look at it closely, you can see there are small scales on his skin.
Oh, interesting. Do the scales have they're golden flecked, I assume?
Dark fleck. That's what gives him his mocha color.
Very cool. Amir would have no idea what that means. He's not learned enough, but he would take note of it for certain. He would probably keep conversation pretty light and just trade rumors and answer any questions he has about the shield dwarf tribes in the region and all that stuff.
Logan will go down into the tavern and join them.
The common room in the North Shield is sparsely populated, but there are people here. A few locals. Another member of the Coster, Durbin, is sitting at a table drinking. Obviously, a Doloman is playing. It looks like not a rowdy place, but a place that's comfortable and quiet and enjoys the music.
Did the locals cast us any glances or dispersions? Now that they probably figured out we're with the Coster.
No, not the locals that are here.
So Amir, where are you from? Where did your clan hail from?
Amir will kind of sit forward. I most recently come from Gauntgrim, to the north, where Clan Battlehammer is. My people are Goldspire. They once inhabited lands near Goldgrim, but they are for the most part no more, and one of the last of my clan. But I was born in Mirabar to the northeast. And then he'll kind of tip his head. You don't look like a shield dwarf. I assume you're the southern kin, yes?
Aye, yes, we settled down south. It's a long story, but my family were smiths and moved around some. The last area that we were in was hold on, I'm looking it up. I can't remember.
No problem. Dwarven information is very cryptic.
Yeah. Okay. Well, know that I was from a southern dwarven town, but the family hailed from here to begin with.
Interesting. I'm not much of an artisan myself, although I can craft a weapon and some armor if the need arises. Always great to have one of the skilled folk in our company. And you would probably pick up on the fact that Amir is a noble if you know much about shield dwarves. He wears certain sigils on his beads and the way he styles himself that kind of looks noble for the dwarven clans.
Logan's gonna run an investigation check.
Okay. What are you trying to do?
Just try to glean any information I can about what's going on in the room around. People watching.
People watching. Actually, for people watching, roll perception. Cool. So, you obviously see Amir and Torgrim at a table talking between each other. Doleman playing. Durbin is not stopping, flagon after flagon. He seems like he can put it away. Other than that, not much going on here. It looks like a pretty quiet night.
Amir would probably... Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
While everyone's retired to the inn, Fitz has decided to make take a search and see if he can find a more seedy area and pick up something along the lines of a burglar's pack.
I think you probably... Let's see. Hold on.
While he's looking that up, Amir would kind of motion to Logan if he's in the room to join them. He doesn't make it pushy, just kind of motions to a seat next to him or near him if you're interested. And goes back to his conversation.
Yeah, Kyle lets know that we're over there. Amir, as the mead flows, Torgrim opens up a little more. Amir, what do you bring to the party? What's your specialty when we're out there? What should I be looking for you to be doing?
My primary purpose, I suppose, would be skill at arms. I'm quite proficient with weaponry. I've been on a few caravans in the past, so I'm familiar with a bit of the logistics involved and that sort of thing as well.
Good. I carry my arms and I jump into the fray battle, but I'm definitely not the frontline person that you might expect a dwarf to be.
And are you unscathed in battle? Have you never seen conflict before?
I've seen conflict, but not on a large scale. And I'm not a trained armsman.
Mir kind of chuckles. Or not can just stand behind me and I'll keep you as safe as I can.
as Logan comes and sits down at the table. Fitz, you absolutely can. So there's definitely a seedier tavern in town than the North Shield. And after making the right euphemisms to the bartender, you can procure what you're looking for. List price.
All right.
It sounds like Logan sits down and joins the both of you.
Well, I forget. Did Logan say he was he was looking for friends, or was that something you said out of character?
No, he said that in character. He's looking for his friend.
Okay. So, in difference to Logan joining, Amir will kind of nod to him, say, "It sounds like you are also looking for friends or compatriots lost on that your scouting party. Is that correct?"
Yes, I'm looking for my friend the Dog Man.
Hmm.
He was the head scout for the previous party that tried to go through the pass when we haven't heard from him.
Well, between the two of us, I think there's interest enough in finding the party. Although I am going to fulfill the objective or the outline of the contract we signed for the what is the name of the company? The Lion's Head.
The Lion Shield Coster.
Although I'll fulfill the contract that the Coster signed with us, my primary stake in this company is to find the lost party.
I agree. I know that my friend can fend for himself, and I have no doubts that if there was any possibility that he was still alive, he would be perfectly fine. But nevertheless, he left me a note to come look for him here and told me that this was actually, I was supposed to actually be on that original caravan. However, I was wounded and left for dead up in the mountains.
It sounds like a trying time. I'm glad you made it down.
So it's friends of both of yours that were on the other party.
Amir will kind of sniff to himself. He's kind of silent for a moment. Acquaintances, yes.
And as the three of you are talking, Gundren comes into the common room. And he looks around a little bit and sees a Dolaman playing and sees you three at the table and walks over. Your lads, this may be helpful. And he lays a scroll down on the table. I've written down descriptions for you of the men I sent on the last group, the people you're looking for. This may help. Some of them you know, some of them you don't, and if they're not together, well... He hands you the scroll.
Ooh.
So you've got names and descriptions of the people.
I'm going to assume that Dulgan is the guy that
Yes.
Amir's looking for.
Correct.
Look to Gundren, nod. Many thanks. This will be quite useful.
Best of luck, gentlemen. I'll see you in the morning. He steps out.
As Gundren walks out, after finding what he's looking for, Fitz comes into the inn and looks over the party's shoulder at the thing that's just been put down.
Amir will kind of, move out of the way so he has a clear view. He spreads out the scroll as wide as he can on the table and pulls a candle towards it so everybody can read it clearly.
Torgrim
So I
leans
take
forward.
it. Oh, go on.
Oh, sorry. Torgrim just leaned forward, looks at Emir. I'm guessing the Iron Hand is your friend.
Aye, he is.
Racist dwarves, only friends with dwarves, man. What's going on?
Well, dwarves are notoriously not fond of surface races, so I guess it kind of makes sense. They are fairly racist.
Yeah, I had a guy in the campaign I was running that was a horribly racist one. It was terrible.
Amir's pretty open for most dwarves. Sorry, what was that, Alton? You were saying something?
Fitz, not having heard the earlier conversation, says that you know, I too, am on the search of somebody.
Oh, is he on this list here?
He is. He's first on the list, and I have to find him.
Is it a kin of yours?
No, but I owe a debt to his master, and I have to repay it.
Well, I'm kind of not indifference to Torgrim. Torgrim and I are also looking for allies on this list. The dwarf Dolgan is somebody from a previous company of mine that I must speak to. So between the three of us, we'll all have a shared interest in finding this group. Oh, sorry, and Logan. Sorry.
Targum kind of looked at you and he said that, shook his head no a little while to Fitz while he was talking. Not I know no one on this list.
Sorry, yeah, I got that wrong. Apologies, I mean Logan, not Torgrim.
Appears as though someone's a little deep in their cups.
Quite so.
The evening's winding down by now. It's probably, say 9 o'clock or so.
Okay. Amir will kind of stand up at some point. Gentlemen, I'll see you in the morning. I suggest getting some rest. It'll be a long trek. And then heads up to his room.
Logan nods to the party and heads to his room.
Since the party's done, Torgrim will wander away as well.
Fitz takes a spot in a shadow near the hearth and just sits and observes.
On about, say, 10:30 p.m., Durbin finishes his last mug and sort of stumbles upstairs to his room.
I should mention I probably would have grabbed the scroll describing the people if nobody else took to claim it, just so we had it in safekeeping.
After I finish my set, if there are any remaining party members, I go over and just ask, like, hey, what did I miss?
I think Fitz, you're the only one left.
I didn't catch that, sorry.
I was wondering if I missed anything. I noticed the company had joined and we're discussing some papers over the table.
Just a list of the original party members, and we found that we all kind of have a kindred interest in this second scouting mission.
Interesting.
What is your reasoning for joining?
I am just a writer of songs and a teller of tales, and I just have a sense that this is going to be a great opportunity, not only for coin, but also for some fame here and there.
Well, coin, of course. I will try and keep my personal feelings as far as who I'm searching for on the back and do the mission as best as I can.
If you feel that's best, but if you need anybody to open up to, I feel like the most compelling tales are those with emotional depth. And I'd love to tell your story.
Perhaps another time. I think it's time that we retire and get ready for tomorrow.
Excellent. Adolman,
That's awesome.
Adolman bows and takes his leave.
You have quite an eclectic group of personalities, I can tell.
I take it, man. Adolman already like digging for the story.
He's not a bard. He's a newspaper reporter.
And so Fitz makes him his way up to his room.
I think Logan's the only one awake then, huh?
Nope. I'm in my room.
Oh, okay.
I think that's everybody.
Okay, in the dead of night, I murder and rob everybody.
Oh, come on now.
Roll stealth.